Welcome back to Grow Your Channel Sunday. So in case you're new here, every Sunday, here on Grow Your Channel series, I will release some type of tip, hack, or advice that I find across the web that seems to make a lot of sense to me. I usually use my cell phone as notes. Some of these can be kind of extensive. So today I want to get into the difference between a copyright strike and a content ID claim. So if you're, let's say, using a major band, and you got their whole song going throughout your video, you could very well get a copyright strike for that. Meaning that you're basically going to have to remove everything out of that video that was copyrighted. You can also get a channel strike, which can limit things that you may be able to do. And it also basically betrays YouTube's trust in you when it comes to monetization and things like that as well. YouTube changes their policies, so anything can happen with that. There's an appeal process for it. The gun channels definitely went through all that. Content ID claim lets copyrighted owners control unlawful uploads. So unlike a copyright takedown, which is what we just covered, that results in channel strike, a content ID claim is not defined by the law at all. So content ID is an automatic copyright management system created by YouTube that finds videos that contain entirely or parts of copyrighted videos. In exchange for not submitting a copyright takedown notice that would result in a copyright strike for the uploader, a content ID claim gives the copyright owners the ability to block the video so that it cannot be seen by anybody. They can monetize the video for their own gain, which prevents the uploader from monetizing it. Or 3, track the video's performance to collect data for their own interest. There are no limits to the number of content ID claims that can be made against a channel, that they also do not impact a channel's presence on YouTube. But they can transfer the control of your videos and content to the copyright owner. So to give you a prime example of this is GoPro. So if you subscribe and to GoPro and you're able to use their copyrighted music, I don't know. I'm not monetized, so I don't know if that actually will affect monetization or if they just collect the data. With GoPro, they probably are just collecting the data, but anything's possible, right? So I often will take and just use, go to YouTube Creator Studios, go to their music, download some tracks, use them for a while, get rid of them, download some more, because those are actually intended for you to put into your videos. This avoids anybody taking control of my channel, video, or anything else. So YouTube says I can use their music, I'll use their free music. But for those that don't want to use their music, beware that, if you're using a band's, music and they find out, they can submit the claim. At that point, they can block that entire video so nobody sees it until the content's removed out of it. They can also take and set it up so they get the money and you don't get nothing. So all the royalties go to them. The third thing that can actually happen too is that they can just sit back and collect the data and see how many likes or comments or whatever you get from it. It's kind of up to them at that point. I don't want to give them that kind of control. So some closing considerations, is to prevent content ID claim. Creators can take advantage of YouTube tool checks, which warn creators about copyright issues during the upload process. Never seen that. Might be something for somebody uploading on a computer. This gives creators an opportunity to edit their content prior to publishing. It is also important to familiarize yourself with YouTube's terms and copyright laws, including fair use law, which permits the use of copyrighted material in certain instances. Be aware of anything in your content that could flag a takedown or claim, and understand the consequences. The copyright owners have a lot of protection in place for the creators. YouTube allows the dispute of both claims and takedowns that do not violate any YouTube terms or are believed to have be complaint with copyright or fair use laws. We hope you find this good and enjoyable. So this is pretty much was lifted right off of a Promoda blog. Wasn't word for word by any means. It's my own kind of twist to it, my own wording for the most part. But this is a company that's dealt with YouTube for years. YouTube recognizes them as being able to promote people's videos and do it within YouTube's terms and conditions. So if you are willing to pay to have your stuff promoted, then go ahead and drop a link down in the description box so that you guys can go over and check them out. I've done it before. It's pretty good. But, you know, it boils down to how much money you want to spend on your channel. You know, how much do you want to put into it. The subscribe they offer to get you more subscribers, I've never had any luck with that. But as far as being viewed, your content will be viewed all around the world. So that much I can say. As far as coming into copyright laws and stuff, it gets kind of complicated when you talk about what fair use is and what fair use is not. So beware of what you're doing, what you're showing. Just because 15 other channels do it doesn't mean that it's good. The gun community found that out years ago when we had the gun apocalypse. We all were basically uploading and showing how to build certain things and do certain things, and we all got channel strikes for it. So just because the trend is there, the big guys are doing it, doesn't mean that you necessarily should. Do the research, and do the research on this topic. I always want you guys to take what I say and go research it for yourself. See what you guys come up with. So with that, I'm going to call it the end of this segment. We shall see you next Sunday. And if you like this and watch it to the end, let me know down in the comments below. And Knife Delights, I hope this was helpful to you too as well. And anybody else who's just kind of getting started and really starting to dive into YouTubing. So with that, thanks everybody. GoPro, stop recording.